couple of days ago, I did a little spotlight on this, a Marvel's writer, okay, Megan McDonnell, who started her career as a podcast producer, not even somebody on a podcast, and then she got her first job writing WandaVision and how great that was, and then her first time getting actual big ol' writing credits is on that bomb that is currently known as The Marvels. More on that disaster a little bit later, but it is also pointing out that she's going to be working on the new Tomb Raider series for Amazon. You know, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, the arguably first woman of video gaming, at least of the PlayStation, at least of action-adventure games. I got no problem with that, given the fact that she is a proper femme fatale, not trying to rely on any of her 110-pound frame beating the brakes off of guys that are 250 pounds. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Where we got a couple of problems is with the production of this nonsense. Enter Tasha Huo, somebody else who I also singled out in this. She is, well, she's being spotlighted in this top 10 screenwriters to watch out for in 2024. I don't know if that's a warning or if that's supposed to be an endorsement, but Variety categorizing all of these 10 talentless hacks really does help out when it comes to content coverage. But Tasha Huo, writing Red Sonja, which is one of Robert E. Howard's greatest creations alongside Solomon Kane, Conan the Barbarian, Red Sonja is kind of a female badass version of Conan with a couple of, you know, very interesting differences, but I would be looking forward to that if not for the people working on it, which, spoilers, that's kind of what's problem with, that's the big problem, not even kind of a problem, it is the biggest problem with modern day media. After developing scripts for Red Sonja and the Naruto, how many different times are we going to get Naruto live action, or even just anime adaptations in general before people, or at least Japan, just finally goes, no, stop bastardizing our IPs, we'll just do them ourselves. Very dishonorable. And an animated version of, Tomb Raider. Oh, fantastic. So what are you doing to this? Huo, who, I don't know, says she considered it a fan's dream come true to adapt beloved properties. Adapting iconic characters, or IP, makes the writing of it easier, because the passion for writing it is already there. Yeah, so basically all of the work is already done for you. All the promotion's already there, and we've seen this time and time again, where you've just got relatively talentless individuals coming across and just co-opting an existing fan base, an existing IP, and bastardizing it in order to fit your narrative. And I mean, looking at Tasha's previous writing credits, looking at you specifically, The Witcher Blood Origin, that came out about this time last year, and it was derided by everybody. To have a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb, you have to purposely be trying to make a bomb, and that's exactly what she ended up writing. But what else does she have out there? Mighty Nine. I don't know, is that a German mustache man from the 1930s TV series or something like that? Interesting. Oh yes, and her previous other two credits definitely set her up for writing a Tomb Raider series is Women in the Dirt. Oh, fantastic. So it's definitely not going to be a feminist retelling of stuff. No, couldn't possibly be the case at all whatsoever, right? Okay, so yes, just running back that statement right there, adapting iconic characters or IP makes the writing of it easier. So what you did with The Witcher, which has kind of trepidatious origins if you take a look at the work of Michael Moorcock and Elric Melbourne. There we go. That one's tough to say, but basically The Witcher, you know, you got Geralt of Rivia, he's already derivative of that. Razorfist has a terrific video on that if you want more into that controversy, or, well, just basically fact-checking on Andrzej Sapkowski's plagiaristic tendencies, if you are so inclined. That's not too dissimilar from what Tasha Huo ended up doing with Witcher the Blood Origin, because guess what? Had nothing to do with The Witcher. You just went and adapted the already dwindled fan base from what Netflix had already done with The Witcher, and then you totally made one of the worst in an entire year. In 2022, there were a whole host of terrible fantasy projects that just came out. Willow, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Those are two that come off the top of my head, but the crown jewel in that pile of shit was definitely Blood Origin from the people that subjected themselves to check that out. She's well apprised of vandalizing previously established IPs, but perhaps she learned from that. Hugh said, "I'm so inspired inspired by these characters already that it's exciting to just take part in their journey and try to tell a fun story in a way that would appeal to me. Fuck, as a fan. Sure thing. That's exactly what you did in your previous work, right? Well, we can't even check more of your work because, well, again, this is another problem with Hollywood. This is another problem specifically with the writers' rooms. You hire these inexperienced hacks who might have written one episode of, specifically, you can go ahead and take a look at the long and illustrious list of writers that come up through the Dan Harmon, Rick and Morty school, and the ones that populate everything that went wrong with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Jeff Loveness, the guy who wrote Ant-Man Quantumania. Michael Waldron, the guy who, shat out Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Both of those guys were supposed to be writing Avengers films, but thanks to the downstream consequences of their horrific scripts, well, neither of them are going to be working on that in the future, and hell, who even knows what Marvel's going to end up doing at the end of the day? But no, this one's different because these are women we're talking about. For Red Sonja, based on the popular sword and sorcery comic book character from the same name, who says that the character offers a unique opportunity to use a fantasy genre to explore human stories. Fantastic stuff. So what does that basically mean? Well, we want to go ahead and have Red Sonja, somebody who's known. She has a very interesting origin story. I'm not going to pretend to know all of it, but I kind of know what ends up happening. She gets taken as a war bride. It's about the nicest way that I can go ahead and put it. It is set in the old height of the Viking days, if you know what I mean. And she goes on a Conan-esque warpath in order to avenge her and her family. So yeah, it's very interesting. But none of that screams introspective bitch babble, which we know exactly this is what it's going to be. Whenever we hear, to explore human stories, it's always sitting down at a table discussing your feelings time and time again, man. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, probably work for a big studio. It gives you this great vehicle for telling big themes about human nature within spectacle. Is that what you tried to do with Witcher Blood Origin? Nobody remembers that. Or even if they do, they get woken up in the middle of the night, drenched in cold sweats, for having to subject themselves to that type of torture. She says, promising stories of great female friendship. God, because we haven't had enough of that. How did that great female friendship work out for the Marvels? Oopsie daisy. And a portrait of how women uniquely survive in the world. Yes, exactly. Somebody who's a badass barbarian, cut from a different cloth. Yeah, that's exactly what we need to have. Modern day sensibilities foisted upon one of the greatest fictional characters of all time. Using genre and a big spectacle to tell intimate human stories stems from a fandom of Ridley Scott's Gladiator. Keep that fucking name out your mouth. A film which she says was big and fun. Oh my god. Oh, if you took big and fun away from Gladiator, oh my god. If I am ever to do like dedicated media review, Gladiator's one of my, it's definitely top 5. I'd really have to sit down and analyze what my top 10 favorite movie or media lists are. It's right up there. Gladiator's not fun, okay? If you remember, what was the inciting act to all of that stuff? Not a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun. Big with grandeur, but fun. Fuck. What are you doing? But also used filmmaking to explore deeper themes. Yes, like betrayal, the importance of family, loyalty, respect, duty. That is more than you can ever do in a oh my. For as much as I love that film, imagine being a writer and saying that you can do more in a film than you can in a novel. Holy fuck. Get this person away from any goddamn writer's room. Holy, this is worse than I anticipated. I just thought we'd have some lighthearted discussion about how stupid she's going to be when it comes to adapting Lara Croft, but that one, that is more than you can ever do in a novel. What the fuck are you talking about? Holy shit. Next up for the writer is Naruto. Okay, a feature adaptation of the iconic anime for Lionsgate. Oh my god, it's going to be marked with the seal of disapproval of Lionsgate. I feel bad for Naruto fans. I'm not even an anime guy like that. She's also executive producing the animated series Mighty Nine for Amazon. I don't know what that is. As well as serving as showrunner for Tomb Raider animated series for Netflix and Legendary. Oh, so it's also stamped with the mark of failure from Zack Snyder's production company. So what, we're gonna have a fat, gritty reboot of feminist Lara Croft? Sign me up. Lara Croft doesn't just go to a new temple each week, but goes through a character-driven, emotional story that excites me the most. I want to fucking die inside. Remember when she said it was really important? I'm so inspired by these characters. I'm so inspired that I'm just gonna write them all exactly the fucking same. That's the problem, man, okay? I don't want to have to say it, but I'm gonna fucking say it anyways. Keep women out of the writer's room, okay? Because guess what? For every Amy Hennig that's out there, if you don't know who she is, go ahead and take a look, because she was responsible for writing some exceptional material. For every one of her, there's 15 different Tasha Hues, if not more. Think that that's being misogynistic? Take a look at what happened to Star Wars after it got wrestled away from George Lucas and laid at the feet of Kathleen Kennedy. Sometimes the truth, sometimes reality is fucking misogynistic. These bitches suck at everything. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.